Welcome to video 3 of AL programming in the age or era of artificial intelligence. And today we are going to look at setting up our environment. We were like, of course, we have looked at how to navigate to the application. We have navigated from an accountant point of view, and very importantly, if you are extending the fixed assets, you're supposed to navigate from the fixed assets point of view. Of course, you can use the accountant, but better um, it's better you understand the specific module that you're activating or you're navigating through, and that's what we used or we looked at in the previous video. And also explore AI features in Business Central. Very, very important. Even if your module doesn't have any inbuilt AI feature, maybe a specific AI feature, but you can look at the lists. You can look at maybe the customer ledger entry and use analysis views. Just understand the AI features because that's where Business Central is going. And if you're learning, what a better way to position yourself as a developer who is already AI ready.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
For Business Central. And of course, this is Visual Studio Code that is used to extend Business Central. So go to code.visualstudio.com and download for Windows. And also, there's an option for other platforms. If you are on Mac or Linux, of course, you're able to use, but specifically the BC Cloud. Not sure about if you download and you're using Linux or Mac. If you download BC, have I seen a version for BC for Mac, like a software, like the one, like the physical application? Not yet, or maybe I need to check. But ideally, if you're using Mac or Linux, then you should ideally use the web version. And with VS Code, of course, with the extension model, you just extend it. And when you're installing Visual Studio Code, because I've already installed, I don't if I trigger the download and I try using it, it will probably tell me to uninstall the existing one because I already have this version. But there is an option for open with code and open in File Explorer as you install. So make sure you have it to enable you easily access Visual Studio Code. When you right click on a file and you need to open it in VS Code, then that option will be there. And yeah, very important for you to select that as you download VS Code as an initial setup. Not sure if it will have that option, but I think it will sort of detect another version. And of course, this is what I meant. Add open to code action in Windows Explorer. Register code as an editor and add to path. Very important. Desktop icon, that's up to you. But again, these are very important, very essential settings for you to download. And when you look at this setup, there are different types of setups. Whatever I have downloaded is the VS Code user setup, like it is installing directly to the user. This is the user installer, but ideally you'd go for a system installer depending on your use case. Though if you are sharing a machine with someone, then you'd go for either the system installer that installs for everyone. The user installers is for you, like you as the user, it will be under your user account. So that's a quick installation guide. Nothing much there, like in terms of nothing new. Once you install, you get to this window. The installation is pretty straightforward. That's what I wanted to mean. It's pretty straightforward, and you go to Visual Studio Code and you see, of course, you have these options: open chat, show all commands, open file, open folder, open recent. And we mentioned that AL is extension based and VS Code is also extension based. And this is the funny part, you are installing an extension to install an extension again. And of course, yeah, so go to extensions for Visual Studio Code. And what you need now, very important point here, you don't overload, don't over install extensions, especially in the era of artificial intelligence. If you just search for AL development, the AL language extension for Microsoft, this is what you need, the official AL language extension for Microsoft. And you can go through what it includes, like support for intelligence, control space, and you can see typing. We will typically go to Control Shift P. This is something that will be in your mind for the command palette, and you type AL, and then it will filter out to all the AL commands. Of course, there's support for code units and everything, incremental compilation, Control F5 to deploy, many other settings, and you can install and look at the features if you need, the change log, and any dependencies that are available for you. Most importantly, also now, because this is the era of AI, we need GitHub Copilot installed and GitHub Copilot chat. So if you do not have a GitHub account, just go ahead and create a GitHub account, because you will need it for you to have like GitHub Copilot chat and inline editing using AI in Business Central. So make sure you have GitHub installed. And before we even speak about the packages, with the free version, there's some things that you're able to do. There's some tests that we can actually play around with the free version before we look at maybe further options. As of now, just make sure you have a GitHub account, because when you prompt the Copilot, it will definitely request for that. And of course, you need to create an extension. And when you look at, we have like if you say AL or Alt AL, it will open the path, but ideally Command Shift P or Control Shift P for those on Windows like me. And when you type AL, you can see AL and full colon. There are so many commands here. Like you can have navigator keys, page designer, oh my, test runner, rapid deployment. Like there are many commands, but this shows all commands. But if you need to go straight to creating a command, is Alt AL. No need to cram this. But of course, if you look at VS Code, it is even showing you that to show all commands, we need control Shift P. And the purpose here is to give us the ability to scaffold this project instead of having to create one app.json, launch.json here and there. Then you use the Control Shift P, and come on, am I using the right thing? Control Shift P and AL go, and definitely you can choose. Let me just choose the default, and you select the option there. So this one now gives you like it's a setup guide to help us easily get to the best version that we need to install. And of course, it is giving us a hello world, sample hello world, and picking a namespace with regards to the default publisher. And of course, you have just done your first command, and you see like red squiggly lines all over. This is part of AL development. You expect to have errors at the first. Once you get started, okay, I know it's not a good sight to see. You're like, oh my, errors again. I have problems and I haven't started. So go ahead and delete the hello world file. Of course, in the era of AI, who wants to do hello world? Hello world is a bit outdated. I want to do something more exciting. But before you even develop, you need to understand the context here and the content. What's happening here in Visual Studio Code, and why are we having an error? Maybe you can ask that. The error, we know we need to configure. So are we using a sandbox, or we are using okay, this is the request for launching the cloud. And of course, we are using a sandbox. You can't publish to a production environment, and we need to know the name of the sandbox. And if you have several environments, you need to maybe enter the tenant ID, which is the Microsoft 365 Enter ID for the tenant that is hosting your sandbox and everything. the tenant where your sandbox belongs to, not hosting. We can attach. So there are several. You can have several launch configurations. For example, you have a sandbox and you have a local configuration. So let me see. Publish. So AL, when you look at AL, you can attach to the client server. You can publish to your own server, publish to the cloud sandbox, which we have already, and you can have two sandboxes. Maybe for the same extension, you can have be publishing to. As you publish, you choose which one you want to, and maybe play around with whichever that is needed as of that time. And when you look at publish to your own server, which might be the option that other people need, and when I was selecting with those options in the scaffold, I chose the publish with the sandbox. I chose to publish with the sandbox, and you can choose your own server as well at that uh, option point. And when you look at this option, you do have now the server. Of course, you'll specify the server. It's a Docker server, then you'll have Docker. If it's localhost, you'll have localhost. And of course, you'll specify your instance. And if it is now the authentication, are you using user password, Windows? And ideally, for the people who installed demo, you'll go for Windows, because most likely it uses the Windows account for logon. And of course, the startup object ID means like this is the page that will open automatically. The launch browser, enable SQL debug information. Most of these can remain default, unless now if you're using the cloud and you need to specify the tenant. But if it's only one account, no need of specifying the tenant. Only look at the environment name, that is part of your sandbox. This part can be confusing, but of course, when you look at your admin center for Business Central, you have several environments, and you choose the right environment. And the identifier for your app will be here, like the identities, like the ID for the app, which is auto-generated, the name for the app, and the publisher, maybe it's your company name, version, description, privacy statement, end user, license agreement, help, URL, logo, and several other dependencies if the app is dependent on another application. And very importantly, the application version. It could be 26, 27. So specifically, which app are you targeting with your application? And of course, AL is ID range based, and you can of course have between 50,000 and 99,999 object ID for per tenant extensions. And of course, this one will be relevant for our scenario because it's a PTE. It's not like an app source submission or an app source app. So understand that, okay, as of now, don't overcomplicate. Whatever you have here is the scaffold will give you as much as you need for your first project, because unless there's someone who is guiding you to, okay, you need to specify this publisher and this and everything, then the scaffold will give you subsequent information. And once you have specified that, you can download Symbol. And I think, let me just do this. My environment is, it should be Copilot. Let me name it Copilot Sandbox, Cloud Sandbox, or the launch. Then here we can say the name of the project is Copilot. The publisher is Copilot Publisher. And then now let's download Symbols. Control-Shift-P. Again, this one will be your go-to Copilot Cloud Sandbox. So here you can choose the configuration that you want. So there is some error there that I'm getting. And when you go to Control-Shift-P, you can clear the credential cache if you have many other issues that you need. And we will look at a cheat sheet for the command that you need to just master as you begin your AL development. And right after this, okay, Control-Shift-P again. I hope now this one works with download Symbols. So if you have more than one launch configuration, then it gives you the ability to choose where you'd like to publish your launch. I don't know why it's misbehaving. Go to debug console, Control Shift P, download symbols. I choose that. Of course, it's now picking. We're having, there's something wrong here. Tenant, my tenant, why did I specify default? I added the tenant command without specifying which tenant it is. But if I go again, do download symbols, because now tenant ID, it should be the tenant ID, not like the word, not the tenant name. It should be the tenant ID, which is a GUID, similar to this. It will be similar to this for your Entra. Again, download symbols. Let's go. Happy that it's doing this, because always refresh VS Code, because it could be having its own, especially for a big project. At times it just hangs. There we are, sending request, and even AL language detects, the extension detects that symbols are missing. And symbols are the base application. We will look just at the structure in the next video of this project to understand what happens here and everything. And we can see symbols have been downloaded based on a pre-logged on account, detected, of course, my environment being Copilot, and the error will disappear. Once you download the symbol, you'll have all these AL packages folder filled in. Okay, so in the next video, we will look at this structure of VS Code and be able now to quickly look at the structure, understand the apps and the files that are available, and be able to publish. Okay, I think now after that, we can now create an extension. Not sure if we'll be ready for an extension in the next video, but we will look at understanding the structure of the project. And of course, if you have any challenge, post it in the chat. I'll see you in video 4.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.